One way I think visually in the story that you see this transformation is the way in which the stocks are replaced by the wreath. So the Puritan impulse is to rely on the stocks, and you
around the head.
circle the head with the stocks, and you use this this mechanism of shame. And at the end, Endicott himself, he's the one who throws the wreath over the two of them together. So it's now something that unites the two of them to the extent that shame still exists. It will be a kind of internalized shame rather than this externalized shame, which is a kind of violation of privacy.
This would provide a kind of really lasting tradition, a different understanding of family, and that is sustainable, that new understanding of family, and that would be a real gift to America. If Hawthorne is trying to find some middle way between these two extremes, that would be a very good way of combining the spirit of religion with the spirit of liberty. To borrow your sense, it's not marriage based on love, but marriage based on love also means marriage based on choice.
I like all of this, but I think the Puritan emphasis on shame deserves at least a cheer and a half, if not two. Yes, they're severe. Nobody on this panel, I think, would like to live under their rule. Fine. But the question is, can you sustain private, robust family life if the external culture is utterly shameless? If you don't have some kind of communal norms that in fact lead people to be ashamed of behaving in certain kind of merry mountish ways, except perhaps, you know, you have time for Mardi Gras, or you have various kinds of places of entertainment and festival, so that comes out under some kind of limited auspices. But I mean, we could turn this conversation today and ask yourself: is there some connection between the precarious state of marriage and family in the United States, especially, by the way, in non-religious communities, and the disappearance of public shame altogether? It's too easy, I think, to dismiss as puritanical and oppressive a kind of teaching that suggests how you comport yourself in public, how you hold your body, how you dress, how you speak, affects public life, and even affects this little domestic nursery of humanity and nursery of community that the two of you have endorsed, and Yuval and I with you. We are inclined today to think that guilt is bad and shame is worse, and no moral community can do without either.
I think we should talk about Hawthorne and his attitude towards these things, and I see him very much as a critic of the way in which the Puritans handled shame. I mean, of course, not only in this story, but in the Scarlet Letter also. And there is something very violative about the stocks because it prevents the natural response of hiding your shame. In other words, it not only shames you, but it forces you to to present that shamed face publicly. It doesn't allow you to hide yourself. And so for Hawthorne, this really violates something about a kind of public-private distinction. And the problem with the Puritans is they do not admit of that distinction between public and private. So that he is not against shame or certain uses of shame, but it has to be in the right way, and the Puritans have really erred in that, not just by excess or going too far, but in some really fundamental way.